Perfect, thank you. All right, everybody, thank you for coming to the TDA meeting. We're getting a little bit of a late start, but we're very happy that you are here. And thanks to Cindy and Calder for arriving. Go ahead and take a look at the agenda. Would anybody like to make a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Thank you. Have you guys had a chance to review the minutes? We have 2 sets of minutes because last meeting we did not have a quorum. Anybody need to make changes on any of the minutes?
Motion to approve. Have you read
I'll second her motion.
All right, thank you very much. And Steve, so you're not bored anymore, would you please give us a review?
Absolutely, thank you, and good afternoon. So, reporting for the month of January, gross receipts on Beach Mountain was recorded by those renting property and submitting occupancy tax reports, recorded a total of $1.574 million in the month of January. Another record, I think. That translates into a collected tax amount of $94,140. A great year. With that said, there was a total of revenue generated during the month of $94,345. Offsetting expenditures for the month were $22,947. Leaves you with a surplus for the fiscal year over your budget of $103,393. Your bank balances are listed there at the bottom of the page. I would recommend that we take a look. Doesn't really need your approval, but and Kate and I have not spoken about this, but seeing how these 2 past months have been a lot of collection, even though tax or interest rates are coming down right now, I would still go ahead and transfer a good bit of both the, I have it listed wrong, it's not BB&T anymore, it's Truist, but.
And if you can spell it, you get a quarter.
I'm sorry,
And if you can spell it, you get a quarter.
BB&T?
You're good on BB&T. I owe you a quarter.
T-U-R-I-S-T.
Oh, you're good. People are putting
I
an
just
E in
looked
there.
at it.
Okay.
And I'm wrong with that Highlands Union as well. They're, somebody
What are
else.
they? Community something now?
First Community.
Yeah.
That's it. So I would recommend that we, even so, with the drop in interest rates, that go ahead and transfer some of those capital management. We're not making anything on the Truist and Highlands Union, so we'll make a little bit on the others.
Okay,
Even still.
all right. And Kate, we've already kind of figured out a dollar amount that we were thinking about moving over? You and Steve talked about it?
Yeah, and I'll talk to you about
Yeah,
it. We were looking at having a fund set aside for operating in case you guys have a terrible year, and that we could probably go ahead and just fund that completely now, and we can move out of the accounts. So,
That's what we talked about. We had a workshop yesterday,
Okay.
so,
I'm sure Kate will fill me
yeah.
yeah. Okay, great. Any other issues that we have going on?
in. Not that I'm aware of.
Right.
Any questions? You're
That's a
good?
good update from yesterday's numbers.
Yeah, we'll keep taking it, keep cranking along. That's a good thing. All right, you guys, did you get a chance to review the invoices for February? And does anyone have any questions? Thank you, Steve. Kate, are any of these unusual that we need to talk
Yeah,
with you
there
about?
is one, Blue Monday, we have written that check, but we are holding it. And the reason is that they did not do their performance. On the day they were supposed to come up the mountain, we had a big snowstorm, and they couldn't.
What's part of the agreement, though? I mean,
Well,
it was kind of Mother Nature.
yeah, it was, but they weren't able to they couldn't get their trailer up here.
Okay.
So what we did was we went ahead and had 80s prom just using 80s music. And we told them that they could come do a performance at a different time.
Okay.
So, and it's kind of up to Annie to schedule. When
Okay.
She wants them to come do
So
a
you
concert.
kind of escrow that too.
Yeah.
For the time being.
Okay. Well, that's a good solution instead of anybody losing out.
Yeah, but we'll
Appreciate
just
that.
do another special event with it.
Okay. And did the,
Fourth of July. You got music for
It would be a good 4th of July, wouldn't they? That would be fun.
yeah,
It would be fun if they wanted to come. Our 4th of July venue is outside, but if they would do that, I'll ask them. Thank you.
did the DeLorean actually show up or the Ecto?
Yes, they did.
He sure stayed hidden. I didn't see it much.
You didn't see him?
I saw
him.
it, but not much.
Is
Yeah.
the Ecto the one that looked like the hearse?
Yes,
Yes.
the Ecto is the hearse, yes.
All
Because it's
right.
for ghosts. See, it's a thing.
It was the Ghostbuster.
Yes.
Got it.
yeah.
So,
All right, any questions on the invoices, guys?
The auto owner's business insurance, is that liability insurance? What's that?
that is,
The very bottom one.
okay, now that is your business property insurance. That's your business property. Your liability is, you've got directors and officers liability up here. That check actually goes to Fortner's.
Okay.
So I've got that broken up in 2 different places.
All right, and a little bit later on, Kate has put together a proposed budget that we'll take a look at. We did take a look at it a little bit at the retreat, so we'll do that under retreat recap. One thing I'd like you guys to take a look at, and Kate also did this for the retreat, is the colorful chart with the pie on it. I'm a visual person, so I really appreciate Kate going the extra mile to go ahead and put this in the chart form for us. You can see that although we are slightly lower in the visitor center in terms of heads, we're still up there, and we're going to break 10,000, I'm sure, for the season, which I think is remarkable for getting in that little teeny tiny building with those small restrooms. The other thing that I think is important is if you take a look at the pie chart down there, our mandate is 2/3 marketing of our dollars that were collected, and then 1/3 tourism related. And I think this pie chart shows really well how much we're giving back to the town in grants, the internal grants and the business grants. So that's our tourism-related side. And then you can see the other side. The Lions, the biggest portion, again, is going right back into marketing to bring those people right back up here. So I thought that was a great visual, Kate, and thanks for putting that together. All right. Next, I've got old business. Preston, you and Sean, or just you?
Yeah, Sean's here as well, because he worked on the back side, or the side, whichever side it is.
Thank you.
You see the printer heads were a little dirty on that first
Okay.
print, so that's why I was on.
All right, thank you.
That's nice. That looks really good.
So I'll just tell you what updates I made since you've last looked at it. There was a request to put the direction to the overlook barn, I'm sorry. There was a request to put the visitor center on there. We put that on there. They wanted the topo lines back on there. We put those back on and tried to mute them down so they're not so prominent, but they're still on there. I think there were some other minor tweaks to it, but other than that, it's what you saw before. In talking to Sean, we're probably going to reduce the line size on the Emerald Outback trails so that they're not so
A little bit thinner?
clumped up. Yeah, they
Okay.
sort of they sort of
Good
blob
idea.
up there.
Good idea.
And there's another trail that's going in right now, I believe. That'll go around Buckeye Lake and down around Shane Park, and back around to sort of the Falls Trail area. That will be added. I'm in the process of digitizing that right now. So,
Now, did y'all decide a name, for that last trail? The
I mean, as of right now, I've just named it Buckeye Lake Loop.
Buckeye Lake Loop?
Yeah. That's quite
Oh,
generic.
so that's on here now, the Buckeye Lake Loop?
No,
It's
on
not.
here, but they're gonna add.
we're going to put that on there. It'll overlap a little bit with the Falls Trail, and some will make a different color for it, and so you kind of distinguish between the two. But it'll be in that area over there.
Am I just not seeing it, or is Shane Park on here? Not yet?
Shane Park is not on there, and I think that was one of the things I thought of when talking to him. We should probably put that on there as well, since it's more solid now.
So you still need to add Shane Park and then add the Buckeye Lake Loop.
So this
Buckeye Lake Loop, yes.
Does it loop the lake?
Let's give me the scene.
We're, the portion of the Falls Trail that goes behind the water plant right now, probably will end up closing that portion just because this trail is
Yeah.
going to fix that.
Nicer.
And we stay out of the water plant
Yeah,
area.
and it was always kind of hard hiking that and
Yeah,
doing the
it's
chain link
very
fence.
steep,
Yes,
the
and-
fence, it doesn't look
Yeah.
good, so, the trail, the reason that, I've asked the trail builder, he had the GIS specs for it, however, it's not 100% accurate just yet until he actually goes and builds the trail. He is supposed to be done by Memorial Day weekend of this year, so he doesn't have very long, but,
We can't wait that long.
Yeah, we can't wait that
oh,
long to
I know,
put it
but,
on here.
I mean, to have this.
Can you eyeball it and do the best you can?
That's what he gave me a rough estimate of the trail, but, again, if you want exact, it won't be there.
No, we don't need it exact.
At this scale, I don't think we need it really
Yeah.
exact.
Yeah, just-
And I don't think we're building
Just a line.
anything on it.
A loop around there.
Yeah, and so I haven't sent that info to Preston, so
Okay.
I think he can pull with.
So
probably drawings.
where do you anticipate people actually starting this? You know, where are people gonna park to start that?
So there's gonna be multiple access points, really. You can either go off of the Falls Trailhead at the rec center, actually where the dumpster used to be, kind of next to the sewer plant. We're gonna have a kiosk there, so you could access that whole trail from that side too, or if you like, you could access from the Shane Park,
Okay, great.
or even the boat dock, because it's gonna come through there as well.
So when you put Shane Park on here, will you put the, the trail from
Oh,
Shane
okay.
Park to link up so people know that that's how you access the loop? Or one of the ways to access the loop?
Parking spot.
Yeah,
yeah, we
could put
a trailhead
there at the park.
Cause you're gonna have parking, you'll have parking at Shane Park.
there'll be a parking,
That'd be parking great.
there too,
That would be a really good place to start from.
And I don't know how hard it is. I don't think it's that hard at all. Your comment about making the lines thinner for the Emerald Outback, can you do that for all the hiking ones too? I mean, just, pull them down like a point whatever?
We can, if that, whatever you guys like. They sort of stand out this way, but if you'd like it smaller, we can.
I'm just thinking, once we put all this stuff around the Buckeye Lake and everything, it's gonna look pretty chunky again there also, because it's a pretty small
Yeah.
area. We gotta put Shane Park in there, gotta put restrooms in there, and parking sign, right?
Yeah.
So you got a lot of little icons that you're gonna have to put in a little small area. The other thing, Beach Mountain Resort, I see the building. Could we put a ski slope? I mean, I know that it's biking and skiing. It just, the building, I don't even, do we have any three-story buildings on the mountain? What are you?
In the front three. in the
Okay,
back
I
two.
take it back. I stand corrected.
The ski resort?
It says Beach Mountain Resort.
Yeah, it says it, you got that on,
I know,
There's-
the
but you don't
icons.
have a
The
building.
lodge is actually 3 stories.
Is it? I
Yeah,
take it back
It is, the
then.
view house actually has 3 stories. It is our skyscraper.
If there's
Just in
just,
the basement.
Do we
Maybe
wanna
any
add-
kinda
We have
icon.
a ski symbol, could we put a biking symbol?
They've got a ski and a skate symbol.
yeah.
Yeah, and we do
Well,
have
and
a,
you've got the slopes actually drawn on.
yeah.
Both at the resort and up on Emerald Outback, do we want to put a biking symbol?
You got Heidi
I wouldn't say go over more to symbols.
Okay.
You know, use the backside.
Okay, all
for
right.
some, you know,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
some usage. You know, the, underneath the Trails of Beach portion, I mean, we can add a little bit more in there if we need to on certain trails.
Okay.
I did put a section about camping on beach, and again,
Yay.
so I mentioned the Shane Park in there. So maybe on the other side, we have a camping icon, typically it's a tent.
Yeah.
But in the write-up, we'd say, you know, bathrooms, parking for trail access, which I think I did mention that, but, and so there is some stuff about camping on the other side.
Okay.
Um,
I apologize, that little F on the three-story building, I see now that it's supposed to go to fire station and not to the Beach Mountain Resort, so.
Yeah, that is the fire station symbols there.
So didn't you think that that was Beach Mountain Resort?
And we can add a biking symbol to the resort. We got plenty of space in there. If that's,
That would actually be good, because Brian was talking yesterday about how he's been able to add the 80 operating days of summer and
Yeah,
and do.
yeah. And ski resorts across the country are leaning more towards summer activities. than
Now they
Yeah,
are, they're
yeah.
switching their
Just in
seasons.
case summer starts being 365
That's
days
right.
out of the year,
I mean,
we're
good.
prepared. Yeah, that's great.
The new road that's going to be paved that we can now talk about, the Buckeye Creek Road, can we put on there somewhere, and I think you've got enough room, we're gonna be calling it the Scenic Byway, Beach Mountain Scenic Byway?
scenic byway?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
And
one.
that, it's
That
gonna
and
need,
two
do we wanna
heating.
go ahead and make it a dark because you've
Yeah, we
got-
can make it.
It's
the
delineated
paved
as a
symbol.
major.
Yes, yay, paved, yay, exciting.
What, do we need the two heating on there?
Not anymore.
Do we need the two heating on there, knowing that nobody's gonna know where the heck heating is?
They might,
Actually,
though.
can we say to Lake Watauga and to
It's got
Johnson
a-
City or
it's got
something?
a
But wouldn't we
US
want to put that over here, though?
Oh, that's good. See, look up there.
Yeah, US 321.
Yeah, it's got US 321.
Is there something else
I
you
mean,
want to put
that's-
besides Heaton?
Well, not really, but I was thinking.
Something more descriptive?
But you
I
could
don't know
really
if
chap them up
anyone
and put
necessarily wants to
Eagle's
get
Nest.
to Heaton.
All right, so it looks like we're gonna need to see this back again,
It's
guys.
fine.
I'm sorry?
It looks like we're gonna need to see this back again one more time. But can we make it before the next meeting?
Yeah, we certainly can bring it back. I think we can make these changes that you've requested and put that new trail on there, put Shane Park and that sort of thing in there before next meeting.
Not before next meeting. Is there any way that we could do it quicker? Because Kate's got to get it printed. Or are you printing it, Sean?
Yeah, I'm getting it printed.
So
You
are we
just- this is
changing
a
Buckeye
TDA map.
Road to,
Beach Mountain Scenic Byway. I think you just done
is
that.
that official?
Well, I don't know how you make it
But
official.
what's it gonna be on stake?
Maybe we should put both on there.
Yeah.
We probably need to keep Buckeye Creek Road, because that is
Until you
the
go through all
official.
the legal changes.
Yeah.
And,
I'm a good
and
with
there
that.
actually is a state designation of something that we call a scenic byway, so I don't know if we wanna,
Push it without having
Yeah,
that designation.
All right.
You could put proposed.
Scenic drive, right?
How about we put an asterisk and then just bury the asterisk wherever else? That is a good solution if you ask me. Yes.
Yeah, I think the changes shouldn't take too long to make.
We can call it
If you guys don't make it
scenic Buckeye
I can
Road.
give
Yeah, if
you-
you would, yeah, if you wanna send it to me, then I'll just.
Yeah, okay.
It just, yeah, it
We
needs
can
to
But
be
this looks
something.
fantastic.
Okay.
And this
What-
looks great too, so that, and see how nicely all that condensed down, because it has so much empty space in the
No.
previous.
I don't know how it will fold. I
That's
haven't built
okay.
in for that just yet.
That's okay. Elena is a master at map folding,
Okay.
so,
Well, I'm saying
Yeah.
the width of the text and everything right now is
Yeah.
not the same as the old map. Basically, that was, I think the old map had 7 panels.
Set up.
yeah, so we,
It'll go
we
down
might
to about
need to
3.5.
tweak this some way so that there's a, like a,
So when it
Anything
folds,
else you want
what's
to
on the
add?
fold, what is my glorious, wonderful, sexy picture on the outside of the map?
As of right now, the logo side, but that's what I'm saying.
yeah, the logo, we could just do the logo and say Beach Mountain Town.
Then he's got a lot of text he's
Town
gotta
road and
move.
town and trail map.
Okay.
You know, we're not,
Right, so it's
This is gonna be
really
part
to
of the
build
front,
this,
though?
I
That's
need to
a
know
lot
how
of
it's
text for
going
the
to
front.
fold, because that's how I
this,
found
the
it.
way the
Really
old
got-
map folded,
Yeah.
the way,
Which was
like the
a-
ones that creative printing did for us, just the same way that that one
Well,
folded.
Creative, so originally, this map was printed out of a company called Forbes Printing in Lenore. They went out of business a few years ago. Creative did not fold it. We just sent them the last artwork and they just printed it. And
Yeah.
that's how we got them.
Well, yeah, they didn't fold it, cause we've been folding them in the
Yeah.
visitor
They were
center.
gonna charge
But-
a lot of money.
Yeah, we don't need a folder.
We need a folding party.
I've got folders, I've got volunteer folders all over the place. so.
But that fold that Forbes did, it had a special name for the way it all went together.
Yeah.
Really, in my opinion, it's not a very good fold.
And if you
Yeah,
could,
all I need is to be able to fold it up and then have a panel
Yeah.
right here that is half the width and a sixth of the length of the map that it folds it
So then,
and we'd like
and I
to,
can do it, the text is just gonna get a lot smaller. But, I mean, right now, the text is,
and we'd like to say 50 or 100 unfolded copies, because I know some places would like to
Put 'em in a
put them in
frame.
a frame on the wall.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna print them or not get them folded, right? Just
yeah,
get
we're
them
not
printed.
gonna get them
Yeah.
folded. We're gonna go
You
to
just
the
want to be
cheap
able
way.
to fold.
So it's hard when you guys give it to us the day of to like really look at it and just double check and everything. So can you give us just a couple days to make our comments to you? You know, camping on beach, great. I'm glad that you guys got that in there and everything. I don't know, do we give anybody any instruction on if they do want to camp on beach? Who do they call?
That, I believe it's in there, call the rec center for permitting and camping.
Well, here it says stop in,
So just
so we
clear
might
that
want
up.
to put a phone number.
Yeah, we can, I mean, we can edit and add anything to it.
Okay.
Because since there aren't that many sites, some people might want to call ahead, because they'll think once they get here, they might be able to get a site.
So, can you guys, I know everybody's really busy and everything, but in the next day or so, maybe by like Monday or Tuesday, contact Sean with any changes you want to make in the
Sure.
copy?
I think we were gonna do an enlarged commercial area on the back side of this map. I mean, to me, it's redundant to have a trail map on this side and a trail map on that side. I thought part of what we were trying to do here was highlight the inns and the restaurants and the commercial.
I thought that we were gonna do both, that you were gonna, yeah, Cindy, I remember that, just your little cartoon map that
Something.
Armando was working on.
You want the cartoon map on here too? I mean, we can do that. We've already got the graphic ready for the cartoon.
I would rather have that than this if
No,
I
we
have
need
to have a
this.
choice.
We need this because I don't want to print those.
She doesn't have the bike,
Yeah.
map, brochure anymore, right?
But that's what
Yeah.
this side is all about.
Yeah, but
They
this
need
doesn't
it
outline
bigger.
any, I mean, if you go up in the Emerald Outback with this map, you will be lost. You will be following those power lines back uphill like I keep telling people.
See, they need to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Good,
I
at the
see.
same time,
Then have-
every intersection on Emerald Outback has this map with a "you are here." So that's something new that we just added
All right.
October. September of last year.
That's helpful.
But assuming you're not here and you
Yeah.
contact me through our portal
Then
to
Kate's not
say,
gonna
I
know
want
where
a
you're
map, I need to send them this. I don't need to say, well, come to Beach Mountain and you'll see there's a sign when you're walking around. They're gonna have to have
Yeah, I
this.
mean, I would suggest keep that in.
Then I
So-
suggest you reduce the size of all this print and make room for
Rather than,
Well, I think we can make a lot of edit.
would y'all trust me to edit all of this?
I can send you, I've got all of that except maybe the camping side. I've got it all in Word already. so
If you would trust me, I could edit this down and give Armando's little,
Yeah. And then if you guys want,
And I'll
send
I
you
can
mine.
lay it out the same way that the old map was, so that way the fold lines and everything would be the same.
yeah, that would
And then I'll
work
just do
great.
one page, that'll be all fluffy for Sandy and pretty.
So you are gonna give me some sexy and fun design? Because I'm
I'll give
looking
you a
at
design. I don't know
white
how sexy
sheet of
that is.
paper here. There's no little mud footprints you usually put on?
Well, it didn't come out very well. There is like a very transparent topo map of Beach Mountain behind all that, but.
Okay, well, I
guess it
really
did-
don't
I did
count
a-
that as sexy and exciting, so, youthful, family-ish. Come on,
I
guys.
see it.
Design.
Yeah.
Alright, do you wanna take this and edit
It's in there, like I
I thought it
said,
was
transparency,
in
I can see it.
Yeah,
And it could be correct too.
I mean, I'll be glad to do it off this
and it
copy.
could be that we're all old.
It's gonna look different when you have a different plotter written out, so.
Well, this is a great bunch of changes here. But I promise you that I can edit you out about
Half.
8 paragraphs of this and then make a
Oh, sure,
space.
yeah.
Like either up here or maybe down here next to this one, whichever you think fits.
But, and also, the font does not need to be that large.
Yeah, I'm saying you
So-
can reduce the size of that font.
Like, that would
Yeah.
go down to.
Get us
really,
a
you
lot
could-
of
you could probably
space.
keep
So
all
we
that.
can get that little commercial district
Mhm.
sort of relational piece stuff in here.
I think so.
right,
If we're
so-
going this far with a map, we might as well have.
Kate, you're gonna work on copy and stuff, and when are you gonna get it to, when do you have time to get it to Sean?
I'll get to you on
Monday? Okay, great.
Because I'm going
Preston,
to Philadelphia tomorrow night.
I will be back the
Oh.
following Monday.
you will
On
be at home
purpose?
on Monday?
No, I will be back the following Monday. I'm in school next
Oh,
week.
okay.
So-
All right, well, I will
Okay,
send
well, we
you-
have a
I
week.
will send you that map.
Yeah, I mean, send it to me whenever.
Yeah.
Who knows, I can do it at night when I'm bored in the hotel room.
You
You're
don't need to
just gonna be
sleep.
sitting in the hotel room being all bored. Your boss is sitting right over there.
This
You're
is
gonna
after a
be
long day at
studying.
school.
Yeah.
I think I.
He's gonna be studying in his hotel room.
Yeah.
All right, Preston, you're good? You know what we need you to do?
Yeah,
Because you
I
didn't
could-
take any notes, darling. That makes me nervous.
I know, I got it all in my memory now.
Okay. Because I
I've
keep
got
saying,
everything.
it's Shane Park on there. It's Shane Park on there.
Yeah, we'll get those changes done, and then I'll send it to Kate. She's got all the notes here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she'll send it to you guys to look at.
Okay.
It'll probably be
You
early
wanna
next
take it?
week.
You
I'll
don't
have
wanna
the changes
do
made.
it.
All right, thank you.
All right.
This is really great though, guys. This is.
Yes,
this
thank
is
you for
exciting.
all the effort, and it's easy for us to point at things, but I know you
Sorry
guys
for-
are really working.
Sorry for the
And
nitpicking.
Calder is such a nitpicker, it's
Yeah.
all him.
Yeah.
So,
No, this is huge though, y'all. This will actually eventually save you a lot of financial resources because we give out tremendous numbers of sheets of paper and folded brochures and 2 different sets of big folded maps, and this will make a huge difference.
good deal.
I appreciate everybody working on this for us.
Do we sell those or just give them away?
We give them away.
Yeah.
We used to sell them, but now that you can go on the app, and eventually this
Gets put on the
will
app.
be replacing, we've got like 4 different things on the app, which is kind of confusing to people, which thing do I pick? But this will replace all of that.
That's good. Okay, great. Can we move on to grant process, Kate? And can you tell us like the timeline?
Okay, yeah, we would like to send out next week an email to everybody about the grant application and then have them get it back to us by April the 27th, which is a Monday. So then we can have them ready for the next meeting. And I've got some, if anybody here wants an application form, I've got some here. But I'll also be emailing them out. You can either hand them back in at the visitor center by 5 o'clock that day, or you can email them back, or you can take a paper copy and then scan it and email it back, just as long as it's back by 5 o'clock, because what I then do is make a packet of all of the grant applications with a cover sheet, which will say who made the application, what is the project, what's the amount they're requesting. That's just a little summary, and then a space for their notes to send out to the board so they can have it all in one packet. Because that's the point where they'll be kind of weighing everything against each other.
And then did we want to have a grant meeting separate from our regular meeting?
Yeah,
we
and
do.
y'all can set that up in probably,
The next meeting.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll set that up in the next meeting.
yeah.
All right, great. And we already publicized this in the Mountaineer. I keep wanting to say Musketeer. In the Mountaineer, right?
Yeah, we did, we put it in the last quarter,
Okay.
and so
Is there any other place where we can publicize it so
we can
everybody
put
knows
it on
about
the
it?
town Facebook, which would
Okay.
probably be a good place
Okay.
for.
We want as many
anybody
people to
see.
know and as many people to
Yeah.
be able to apply for it as possible.
Mhm.
All right.
Is that strictly limited to businesses?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
No.
But there is no
Anybody, anything?
limitation. Anybody that has got an idea that will
improve.
promote the town of Beech Mountain can make an application.
Okay, great.
What about in
And-
the water bills? How difficult is it to add a little something in the water bill? Because that goes out to everybody.
It's
Are
not
you-
difficult.
Are you full on
It's
this?
not difficult,
Are you full on this next bill coming up?
yes.
If we had wanted to do that, we probably would have
Timing
needed
isn't
to.
good.
Yeah.
We're
Timing's
doing the
not
water
good.
and sewer, notice,
Okay,
and then after that, we're doing the town hall.
okay. But that was a good idea. We'll remember that for next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Okay.
always ways to,
Yeah.
okay, but in the meantime, it'll go in the Mountaineer and.
All right, great. Any more old business that we don't have listed that you guys need to discuss? No? All right. Whoop.
Was the Christmas ornament or any of that old business? What did we look at?
Yeah, Christmas ornament, I can give you an update on that. The Christmas ornament actually is to be taken apart, and this was decided 2 weeks ago after the directors' meeting of 2 weeks ago with Matthew and Daniel. It was to be taken apart and then taken down to the water plant where it will be stored, but reassembled down there so that the Mosca representative who was coming to look at it and let us know what needed to happen and help us get it fixed didn't matter what the weather was, when he could schedule to come up here. So that has not happened yet, and I did speak with Matthew and Daniel again.
But it's underway and it's gonna happen, right?
But they gotta take it apart,
Take it
down,
apart,
put
take it down
back
there, put it
together.
back together. Yeah.
Well, we also, not just to redo it, but we need to, as you said, redo it so that it will hold up in our climate. I mean, it was not good this winter. I mean, it was,
Well, I think,
Going out here.
Didn't it take them about a day to put that thing together?
it's pretty intricate,
It is
but
pretty intricate.
yeah.
It has
Yeah.
a schematic to it that you
Almost
have
we
to
were
follow.
pushing this guy to get his arse up here sooner.
But
we have to
you know,
wait till it's moved first.
we have to wait till it's moved.
So that's all under works. It's all getting done and solved and everything. And,
Whatever.
Yeah, this company is not the problem. It is getting, now that, once we decided that we were gonna get it into a place where he could look at it at any time, that became the problem.
Okay.
At that point, we became the problem.
but it's not a problem anymore. It's getting moved and it's gonna get attended. And I think that, it's also gonna be put into the new DUDE program for maintenance and all that kind of stuff. So I think we've got all that worked out.
Yeah.
All
At
right.
least that and Old Man Winter are both gonna be put in, because it is an asset of the town.
Right. Good deal. All right, new business, Ms. Prisco.
That's me.
It's you.
Great. I have a PowerPoint presentation, but I don't have the work anymore.
All right,
That's what
well,
That was my mistake. All right, then I have this for you guys. Thank you for having me today on this beautiful sunny day when I thought it was gonna be raining.
yeah, it was supposed to rain all week, wasn't it?
Get my junk up again.
Thank you.
This morning was noon, but it was dreary and nobody ended up.
Outside.
It won't rain until your outside day.
Right, until I need something to do outside.
Yeah.
The sexy
It
map?
won't rain for cold month.
I think that's gonna be one of my quotes.
Alrighty guys, so shop around here for Inkle Mud, our awesome new race here on Beach Mountain. Another great PowerPoint because it's in the afternoon and I would have forgotten all my talking points, so.
I just love Mother's Day.
Right.
Oh, and I pulled a couple of photos off of Facebook for Pineapple.
Excellent, excellent.
So,
I just sent you more too. I got this one of this guy holding a kid as across the finish line, and it's
oh, that
one of my
was
favorites. That one, this little kid jumping the fire pit, so.
If you, yeah, if you could send me those too, because we're doing a digital campaign right now that
And I felt like
includes.
that helped the college,
Yeah.
through them. I feel like they did a lot for us.
Yeah, they do. And what is so cool about them is you never really know when it's gonna pop up. It's gonna pop up in one of our target areas.
Right.
But, you know.
And I felt like I reaped a lot of benefit from Pineapple
Put it
for
in
this
my
race
calendar, so.
specifically, just because of,
That's good to hear. We were at another meeting recently where a business told us that no, that Pineapple doesn't send him anybody. And we're going,
well, he'll be-
exactly
he'll-
how do you determine whether or not Pineapple has sent you someone? So,
Should be.
This is
Oh,
the.
my right, I'm right, in the folder. And the only PowerPoint, it's not halfway down. Up. There. Yeah.
Bless you.
And Cold Mud, it's on May 9th this year, so it's a little earlier, but we shot for Mother's Day weekend, so we can call it Mother's Day weekend. It's gonna be a lot of fun, so hopefully everybody will bring their mom out, get them muddy.
Get them muddy.
Or at least get everybody else out of their hair for a while.
Round with the microphone, yes, please, sorry.
Just so you can hear me. Here we go. In Cold Mud. Oh, let's see in front. And how do I? This guy? Alrighty, so you guys already know about the event. You heard about it last year. I just wanted kind of to recap and show you what our plans are for this year. So it is on Wild Iris Trail. We're planning on that again. We're gonna make a couple changes to the course, but overall it's gonna be out of Fire Station 2. Thankfully, we didn't ruin it last year, so they're letting us back there again.
It was pretty muddy though.
It was pretty muddy, but it was fun. And hopefully we cleaned up enough. Like I said, they're welcoming us back so we can destroy the place. It was a great location for us too, between the club working together with us, the fire station. It all really clicked along good. The location turned out to be perfect. Last year we used the money that we collected and promoted Shane Outpost Park. And that worked great. A lot of people were excited. I mean, outdoor enthusiasts like to support outdoor projects. So this year, we are wanting the money to go towards the playground at Bark Park. It's kind of our new idea, and this schematic over on the right is what Sean's been working on, and possible playground that we will get up at Bark Park.
How much money did you raise last year? What did you net from the event last year?
I didn't bring my final numbers, but we didn't net much because the $5,000 startup from TDA and then $2,500 from, it was a big number to try to overtake. So a lot of it went into it. I don't remember my final number, but we were in the hole by a little bit. I think
Okay.
about $1,000.
But
Okay.
aren't some of your structures, though, you can reuse
Yes.
this year, so that'll save a
Yes,
bit?
that's a
Okay.
huge thing. My budget this year is way less, but that is why I do less that. So I want to pitch why we're doing this race, what it's supposed to benefit. We are supposed to make money off of it. We're just still in those growing pains of trying to get this race finished to work at top notch. I don't like doing anything halfway. I don't want to present a race that people do once and they're like, oh, that was cool. You know, we're Beach Mountain. We've got to kind of snag them while they're here. So this is the dream of the playground. Like I said, Sean's working on, it's going to hit a need up here at the top of the mountain for some more recreation. Let people hit it a little faster than cruising all the way down to Buckeye. So they can, oh, sorry. It's having fun to think numbers. Skip on.
133,000,
It's
so
130. It was a little,
13.
and that was the cheap version. Cheaper.
how many people attended last year?
We had 70,
Five.
well, I was hoping on this one. I had 78 racers. And the neat thing about it, and that's why I was saying Pineapple really helped us out a bunch, only 17 listed Beach Mountain as their address.
Right.
So everybody else was from here, mostly Charlotte. I
Right.
had a bunch from Kannapolis, from Waxhaw, from, I can't remember, mostly Charlotte area, which was great. Yeah, that was kind of like woohoo, because we do our normal advertising around here with flyers and all of that. But to hear that it hit that far, it was great. So with the course and with money, like I said, we had our startup fund last year, and we built a ton of obstacles, and most of them we could reuse, which we'll get to that on the next slide. But our new obstacles, the kind of wow obstacles, but simple at the same point and can be reused. I want to add in lily pads, which is this obstacle listed on the left. So you're able to move it off the trail so it won't stay there. It's not going to be a permanent structure. We could possibly use it in another event, kind of like we did for the police event, National Night Out. We used some of our mud run obstacles there as well. Want to add in a mudslide, so it's cheap but it's really cool. We want to do monkey bars, which is probably one of the most expensive new obstacles we want to do, but it might get cut down because of other materials that we have at the rec center. We're talking about moving some stuff around, so that price might be able to come down some, but if we built it from scratch. Slack lines, a super simple obstacle, but a lot of fun. It's just pretty much a tightrope. And then the slip wall, which is one of those like, ooh, obstacles. When you see it, you're like, wow, that was cool. So those are some of our new ones that we're talking about doing. Here's the pictures of some of them. That bottom right is the slack line. Top right is the slip wall. So a lot of fun stuff. We're really deep down excited about it. Then some of the ones that we have already and we just need to tweak and touch up. Our trench walk was exactly that, a trench walk instead of a mud dip like we wanted it to be. It lost all of its water. So there's a little puddle in the bottom even though we pumped thousands of gallons into it right before it. So we're just
Don't
gonna,
let the press hear that.
it was muddy, it just didn't have water in it. So a little thing, we're just gonna add plastic to it and hopefully that will hold. Spear throw was awesome, nobody got hurt, but we're gonna move it further down and then add another station to kind of take some of the pressure off. Our poor volunteer there, thank goodness Sean McNay was there. Balance beam, we're just gonna make it cooler. So we're gonna use the same materials and we're gonna make a second one. Spider web, just using metal rope. So all these things, we're reusing them and we're just kind of tweaking them a little bit. And so awards are really cool. Another thing that it's important, a lot of people love swag. If they've gotten something cool, they're going to talk about it. They're going to see it at their friend's house. So we work with a local potter. She's out of Deep Gap. And she's really cool. She did our mugs last year. And it's just as it's actually cheaper to do this than to get like acrylic awards or something that they're going to throw in the trash in a couple of years. So I thought that was really cool. We just met with her and decided on plants this year for the mud theme.
Cool.
So breakdown, this is pretty much our budget. On the left is our, we have to have for this race to happen. This is what I think we need for it to be bare bones, and we've got functions of the race, like race wire, that's how we time them. Awards, you gotta have awards at races or people are not coming back. T-shirts, same thing. Obstacles, if we don't have the obstacles, it's not the mud run. And then we did business cards as advertising. So technically we could function off that budget. It would be good, but it wouldn't be Beach Mountain good. Budget needs on the right side are the things we had last year, I would like to see again, and we just don't have the budget for it. So things like flyers, we had the big 7 11 and a half.
11 by-
So the big flyers,
Mhm.
big glossy ones, thank you. Porta potties, fire station has 2 bathrooms, but if we get over, if we get 80 racers again, that's not gonna fill the need. We're gonna have people complaining, but we could live without it. Banner, we put a date on it last year, so we can't use it again. I think banners do wonders around here. People see it, they talk about it. Word of mouth is our biggest seller up here. Radio ad, same thing. You hear it on the radio, you tell your friend, you tell your daughter, hey, I heard of this cool mud run. Race signs, just so people have a good experience at the race, and then volunteer t-shirts.
What's 1,100?
That's the full budget needs. That's
Oh,
the
total.
Total
Yeah.
on the bottom.
total. Sorry.
It took me, yeah, it did me too.
It's supposed to be a line.
But it's,
And how much were the admission, what did you charge the people
Oh,
that
gosh.
participated?
okay, so, well, this is my old copy, but, so my last slide on my version, talking about money. Last year, we charged $25 for an adult for either fun run or the timed run. This year, we're bumping it up $5 for everybody. It's gonna be $30, and then kids are gonna bump up to 25. I think they'll pay it. I'm not worried about that. I don't really want to bump it up much past that,
Yeah.
since we are a new race. I don't think we have enough yet of a draw to bump it up to 60, like most mud runs. Yeah, but that's Spartan, they have a name behind them, they have enough.
And they have real ops. I
Yeah,
mean, not
they're
that you
just-
guys are not
it
real,
has-
but
This is an amazing race. It's
this is
such
for
a
families.
But yeah, it's families, it's such a neat race, it's got, trail, obstacle, mud, beach, mountain. I mean, we've got a lot of things going for it. And other things, I gave you guys our sponsor packet, because that's how we're gonna try and raise money. It's the same thing again, we're going after, people to sponsor obstacles, which was an awesome sell. It was neat to be able to be like, you're gonna have at least 80 runners pass by, you've got volunteers passing by reading your sign in front of an obstacle. And then we're gonna
have
be
the
doing.
sponsors from last year been contacted?
I have an email ready to go, I haven't sent it out yet,
Okay.
but they will be. I've got all of them listed and I've
I'll
got
do mine again.
nice little thank you.
How many, what did you get in sponsorships last year?
Only $1,000.
It was mostly us.
That was
Yep.
us.
All right. Kevin and I will do ours again too.
Yeah. And
They must have had some because they've got names on them.
Yep. Those were our sponsors from last year, so yeah, we're hitting sponsors heavier this year because they weren't hit heavy last year. I think with the startup of the new race, it was not the main focus. But like I said, they were fairly easy to sell, and it definitely need to push on that. And then also with that, we're going to do the Get Dirty and Donate again around all the businesses. Jimmy was the only one that participated last year, but I feel like that could be such an easy
Oh, yeah.
nap, and
Yeah.
restaurants would be all for it as well.
And the dirty dessert.
Uh-huh.
This is a petty thing, but $30 versus 25. Wouldn't it be just as easy just to say $30 across the board? And the reason I'm saying that is I learned a long time ago that if you have a kid price and an adult price, then you say, how old does that kid gotta be? And then parents show up with a kid with hair on his face trying to tell you it's 12 years old. I mean, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
that's true.
And $5 is just.
That's
it
true, maybe
seems to
we'll
me
just bump it
might
down
just
for
be
like
easy
5
just-
and under.
It just might, it might be easier just to level the playing field and say
We can do that.
$30 to enter, kid. Yeah,
Definitely.
just a suggestion. Like I said, it was petty, but it's a
Yeah,
suggestion.
sure. I will take any suggestion. We are always open.
Times 20, that'll get you an extra $100.
Exactly.
So what are you asking us for, Kate? Or are you still keep
Money.
going?
That's the bottom line. Is that budget needs part.
We're trying to tell you how to make your own.
I appreciate that. I will take that into as well.
so
But
is
yeah, I
it-
am
is
asking-
the 1,100?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, to be able to cover the budget needs. To make this an all-star Mother's Day weekend.
So if all the sponsors from last year put their money back in, would you still need 1,100 or would you need?
But then it would go towards the playground, and we would actually make a profit on the race.
Well, that's, 1,100's a lot better than 5,000, which is what we spent last year.
Mhm.
But you've got a lot of stuff
Can you
you're
sit
gonna
on it?
spend this year,
Yes, yeah, a ton of things have come out, or we've mushed around, or.
Barry's
yeah,
gonna
it's
make you
definitely
sing now.
Changed up, but
Never
that's
did that.
that's what I'm throwing at you guys.
All right, great. Well, thank you for the presentation, and
I did this
I
one, so
remember.
don't ask
Oh, I
them
thought, I
for,
thought you
yeah, don't ask them for money.
people.
I mean, I want
We
to.
got you, no, that's great.
I can do that. That's-
Great.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
that's pretty much.
So do you think it's gonna grow this year?
I want it to. I think it will. I already have people who have signed up that didn't do it last year. So that alone kind of sparks to me. I've had a lot of people come to me and tell me that they're signing up for it. The police department have been huge on it. They keep asking me, you know, when is it going? When is it?
Can
Do you
Put
have-
a little sign outside of Bannerell, like over in the Sugar Mountain area? Will they allow you to promote it over there?
Sure, but I have to buy that sign.
Do you have, we're meeting with the family group
Oh, yeah.
tonight.
Over
So,
Rick
yeah,
Allen?
can you give me whatever, I mean, I don't need all of this, I just need them to know what the date is
Just
so
the
they sign
flyers.
up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What's
Thank
your
you.
goal of attendance?
130.
Is that maximum or that's your goal?
No, that's my goal.
Yeah, Max,
Just run heats at that point. We can really
I
go.
think they can find a bunch of kids at ASU or Wiesman Craig or.
Michael Holland is now,
He's been a huge resource.
yeah,
I've been
and
using
he
him
gets
a
them,
bunch.
he gets her all of the running
He's been passing on
clubs.
everything.
So he's really, really good. Now that he's on the rec committee, I think you guys
Yeah, he's a
can
huge asset.
get more out of him, so, perfect.
So how long are you gonna let everybody else in the race run before you let Michael loose?
Michael has to run on one
It's so
foot.
hard for him that,
Yeah.
then I'll feel like it's a good race.
One arm, one leg tied behind his back.
He actually turned around and started running back,
He ran the whole course backwards.
Yeah.
yeah, backwards, and there were still people on the course. So it was pretty funny.
He is a great.
Right when he rolled up in 20 minutes, I was like,
Can't be doing that. All right, Super Kate, if we have any questions, our Kate will give you a call, okay?
excellent. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it. And thank you for a fun event on the mountain.
Good show.
I did not know whether Michael Holland was going to come, but we have a really nice packet. Kate's going to contact him and send him an application so he can apply for the grant. It's not Kate.
No,
Big.
All right, but if you guys want to go ahead and review this ahead of time.
yeah, and basically just a quick summary of what this is. This was a memorial for a beach mountaineer that was here in the early 80s who passed away, and he was a firefighter, and they did put up a memorial to him, and it's been, over the years, it's been kind of,
Frozen, unfrozen.
yeah, and the ground around it's gotten mushy, and, you know, we've, of course, made much more use of the public works area, and it's just, so it's to take a memorial and rework it, move it up the hill a little bit, put in some flagpoles, and area, not really a park per se, but just a place to pause and have a moment of reflection. So, and with the streetscape moving down that way, you know, it will now be more of a focal point.
Great.
So,
All right, so that'll be one of the grants coming in. Moving on to chamber situation, just an update. The chamber was kind enough to invite me to their meeting on Monday, where we reviewed the agreement between the TDA and the chamber. And Calder was there for a portion of the meeting. And we just kind of went over their financials with them. At the end of this month, well, they're in debt right now, but at the end of this month, they're going to be more in debt, and they just are physically not able to continue at this point. We also went into the different roles that had been agreed upon and divided up between the TDA director and the chamber director, and that was not happening either. Right now, they're meeting tomorrow. They're having a retreat tomorrow and regrouping. And Kate, did they pick up the checks or the grant application or tell you anything else about the copier?
Nobody has checked any emails. Nobody has picked up the bills. Nobody has made a deposit of the checks that are sitting there.
Okay.
No, nobody has.
So we are on hold and waiting for them and trying to assist them in whatever transition they are coming up with to solve their financial and staffing problems, so.
So, I think they're just sort of confused as to what information is correct and where correct information should come from. So, hopefully maybe after their retreat, they will at least come sit down at the computer and open the email. That would be a really good start. So.
All right. Question? No. Okay. Recap of the retreat. Cindy, thank you very much for coming. Calder, we missed you as always. Armando was there, and Jimmy, I think Barry, because you tease him so much, he brought us pizza. So we thank you for that. And Chief Pudney, thank you very much for your time, because we know you definitely have a lot to do. About the retreat, just a couple of things. We had a person, he wasn't really a facilitator, he was almost more of a guest for us. He came from Blowing Rock, and he is their tourism manager. And I don't know how long you guys have been around here, but Blowing Rock about 20 years ago, 15 years ago, was a ghost town. I mean, they had that nice main street and everything, but they didn't really have a lot of businesses there, and they didn't have their really wonderful sidewalks or flowers or whatever. And Chief Pudney's beautification on beach to find out how they did that down in Blowing Rock and how we could emulate it up here. And he did come up with some really, really good tips. And I'll give you a personal lunch story of some of the stuff that he had said. He did stress over and over again the importance of a streetscape or a walkable corridor. And I think as a goal for TDA, we have been working on that one for many, many, many years. And I think it's also a goal of the council, and so we're going to be pursuing that. He also showed us an app. It's called Jackrabbit that Kate's going to go ahead and investigate. From our website, people would be able to book lodging through this app. Instead of having to go through Travelocity and any of those third-party applications, and thus saving money. He talked about the gentrification of Blowing Rock and how none of the staff or the workers can actually live there. And we kind of are encountering the same problem up here. The club is actually anyways. We staff up and we have about 100 people, and it's just very difficult for them to find affordable housing up here. And they have that problem working on down there. He also discussed with us different marketing strategies. They are trying to do an entire corridor of billboards on, was that 321 or 421?
421.
421. And so he was talking to us about the strategies. And at one of our business meetings, we had one of our businesses inquiring. So Kate's going to be doing some investigation on billboards for us too. He also came up with another idea in a market or an area that we hadn't tapped, but we are having people come up here, is ASU alumni. And it's a cluster of people, and a lot of them, when they went to school at ASU, they came up here and we were their playground. We already have 2 or 3 members that I know came up here, and they had gone to ASU. So I think it's a nice pool or fish pond that we can also explore. And he even gave Kate a name of the, what was it? It's not a PR firm.
Yeah, it is. That actually does the marketing
Okay.
for
All right.
the games. Yeah.
And is there alumni office send out publications or website things that
They
we could
do.
advertise on?
ASU is very, very active with their alumni, and, you know, I think that that's just a market we hadn't thought about yet, and now we
Well,
will.
and it was particularly interesting to us because it would be like the September, October, November.
Crowd, the football crowd.
Football season.
The
Yeah.
football crowd. And go ASU football team, they're doing so well. All right, the other thing that he came up with, we had asked him if he was marketing us, what would he do and what would he concentrate on? And we are so fortunate to have everything up here in one mountain. We've got the shops, you know, we've got the lodging, we have the hiking, the birds, the biking, all that kind of stuff. Most of the other, for example, ski resorts like Appalachian, you know, they only have one element. We have it all combined together. And so we're lucky that we can pitch all of that together. And we basically have been doing that. Coming up this next year, we're really focusing on the birding, the hiking, and having the scenic byway, or whatever we get to call it, asterisk, is going to be definitely part of that campaign too. All right.
I look forward to seeing our marketing efforts north of here. Kind of fun to.
Yeah, and you know that's Scenic Byway is actually part
It is
of the
scenic.
North Carolina Birding Trail District right around there.
Good. See, all y'all think that I make this stuff up, and I don't. Some of it I do. Workshop, we reviewed our marketing efforts, and you guys, Calder, that's this sheet here, nice colored sheet. Pineapple put together, just highlighted some of our clips that we've been getting, and then some really, really impressive numbers on the back. Total ad value, $2 million. Well, believe me, we do not spend $2 million to get that $2 million. Actually, it's 2.7, so we could round that puppy up too. So I'm not going to read you, but I don't think there's a negative number on here. All positive growth. And the geographic areas of growth: Charlotte, Atlanta, Raleigh, Durham, Nashville, which is always a surprise to me, and then Orlando. So anybody that's interested in more breakouts of this, Kate can just give Kate a call. We surmised by just looking at this that we are doing what we are supposed to be doing. We might want to tweak it a little bit to make it better, but I think we are right on track in our marketing efforts. Proposed budget. If you go ahead and look in your packet, guys. Kate, next time can we number the pages? I know I always end up throwing stuff in the middle anyways. The proposed budget is on,
No, I mean on agenda.
it's under recap
under
for
recap.
Oh, recap.
yeah, because we went ahead and we talked about that at the workshop. Calder, are you on the right page?
It's the one with the extra columns on it.
Yeah. A really teeny tiny one. You got it? That's it. Since it's proposed right there.
Got it.
All right, I'm not going to go through the entire proposed budget, but there's a couple things that I just wanted to highlight. What we are going ahead and basing our projected budget for next year is on $503,000. If we take the occupancy tax that we know is coming in for the next few months, what we did is we didn't take the increase that we think. We went ahead and took the actuals of last year. So that number we feel is definitely achievable and probably under, but we would rather be conservative than not. And then you see your column over where it says 20 to the 21. What we did is we took 17% of the expected revenue and then went ahead and filled in our numbers. And so we feel very confident that we will be able to stay under this budget. And
This is a good hedging your bets
Yeah.
budget.
So the 503 is based on last year's numbers.
It's based on what we've got right
Now.
now, plus the 5 reporting periods, if they
Still
came in
2,500.
just
Yeah.
like last
So
year.
this is
Yeah.
actually based on 19 and 20,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not 18, 19.
Correct, correct. It's just a more accurate way of doing it, and then so.
And
And,
then we look at, for what we actually want to say we want to budget to spend, we knock off 17% just to be safe again,
Mhm.
because we don't ever want to get in a situation where we've planned all this stuff and then we can't meet our budgetary needs. Now, you guys would still be good because you have money in the bank,
Right.
but I don't want you to get in that
yeah,
situation.
and we definitely don't want to get in that
This
situation.
374 is this year's expenses
Mhm. Yeah.
times, 83%.
It's 374, which is this year's expenses, and I went back, because I am a zero-based budgeter. So I went back and I took every one of these lines and put in, okay, I know that the auditor is going to bill us $2,500. So I put in
Right.
2,500. And then I know that I'm going to be going on this trip, and I know that we need to send Armando to this and this. So that's where the 4,000 comes from. The office supplies, I added in the amount, if we have to take over the copier for the chamber, I added in the amount that we're gonna have to pay to take over the copier on the chamber to what I know we're spending this year. And then contract labor, I added in the full, everything that we spent and chamber spent last year. This year on your contract labor, you're also paying, the $35 a week that we pay to Vanessa to clean on Fridays. But I took that and put it in the visitor center budget on the town side, and then put the full amount of Elena, which is the 15,552 on our side.
That's picking up.
So we're saying.
Yeah,
Chamber
picking up,
is not
because right
going
now
to.
the chamber's supposed to be paying for half of her hours, and
So your budget is gonna assume we take over all those current expenses?
This
Yeah.
version of the budget,
so it could be that you
Yeah.
don't have all these expenses, but
Yeah, I think it's a good plan though, to assume
Yeah.
that,
we definitely do not want the visitor center to be unmanned. I think that's another one of our wonderful assets on the mountain, that people have a place to go to figure out.
it is something that's
It's
very
vital.
welcome when
Yeah.
they get here. Where you'll see another change on here is, the 5,700 and 5,701. I actually took a little bit out of the 5,701 and moved it up to 5,700. I know that we're gonna spend that total in advertising, but 5,700 is stuff that we contract with an outside company to set up or manage, and then the 5,701 is what we do inside. And I think we aren't gonna need that much on the inside, so I moved it into the external advertising. And then events I dropped because we didn't need the full amount on the events line either. I figure we're gonna need, about 8,000 for retro 80s. And
Okay. We might need to adjust that. We really haven't talked about the ribbon cuttings and some of the other new things that are coming up,
Yeah.
and where that money's going to come from, where that budget's coming from. So
Okay.
put a question by that one.
Okay. And then, public relations and marketing, they're at 58. And I've put 60 because what I'm seeing from them is that we've gotten an extra charge from the social media piece. But they're actually gonna they'll make a budget presentation to you, near the end of May. They're planning on coming up and making a budget presentation. So
Okay.
really that 60 is kind of a placeholder without the detail to it. And then High Country Marketing, that's the 5,000 that we do right now with High Country Host. And yesterday, one of the things we talked about was if there is another breakout group that starts up with Watauga, Boone and Blowing Rock, we would maybe go in with them.
Right.
So, but, we still have this 5,000, and that is total ad money. That is money that goes into marketing in our marketing co-op. And then the 12,616, that is my computation of the admin charge based on bringing in the 28, $289,085 from Watauga side and $127,235 from the Avery side. It doesn't compute on that 2724, which is just interest, but it computes on those two, because what we do is pay 3% off the top
Okay.
for whatever they collect.
Okay.
And you'll see in,
To the town.
yeah, to the
Yes.
town. And in our budget this year, we estimated under, and that we collected more, so we owed them more.
Okay.
So, then we've got 1,000 in association dues, which I think is gonna be exactly what we'll spend. The, capital outlay, that amount, the 137,385, that is 33% of the total that you expect to come in. So that's the number that, you know, based on the formula you're required to use, that is a set number.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 6891, that money is for Armando, who will be 32 hours a week, and for me. Elena is the one who is up here in the contract labor, but the 6891 is me and Armando. So that's where you come up with your total expenditure. And it's, you know, that is a rough budget,
Yeah.
and y'all
No,
can-
I appreciate you getting this together for us. So what I would suggest is everybody just really take a look at it. You know, it's hard to do that when you're getting this at the meeting.
Yeah.
We have time. Kate, thanks for getting this together early for us. And then if we need to make any more adjustments as we go closer. But I think that we're doing really, really good on that too.
These maps that are coming to me, is there anything in here for that?
Yeah, where they would come from is back up here at line 5701. It's the other advertising, because again, that's anything that we spend on marketing and advertising that we don't go through our PR firm for,
Right.
so.
That's already included.
That's us.
Yeah. But one of the things that I've been noticing is that when we have them do ad buys, and this is with them doing ad buys, when we have them do ad buys, there's an agency fee associated with it. And almost every ad buy that they did was somebody that I was already doing ad buys with. So we might save a little bit, and it's something we need to talk to them about anyway, because it's, people keep coming to me.
And you're doing the work anyways.
Yeah, and now we've got Armando.
Negotiate
and
that
Armando can do the graphics, because y'all did the purchase of the computer for him, and thank you very much. And he actually uses his own graphics program and just logs in to it from the office. So he can, we may want to, when they do their presentation, move some of this money again, you know, based on
Yeah.
what you want me to just go out and do the buy for, or what you want them to do.
But at least we've got it covered on the high side.
Yeah, in between this 5700 and 5701, that will probably be your total of expenditures on the ads.
Okay, great. Well, good. Again, great work, Kate. One thing that I forgot to mention, Chief Putney was at the workshop, and of course, you know, the TDA wants to be in total coordination with the council on efforts of spending the occupancy tax money and just coordinating everything. And Chief was kind enough to give us what he believed were the things that were most important, or that he feels would be most important that the money could help with. And he noted wayfinder signs and gave us an example of Rock Hill. Kate's also got something that she'll be able to take and look at samples from the Blowing Rock. They're actually spending money to get stuff designed, so that would be nice if you can.
Yeah, it's Watauga County, Boone, and Blowing Rock, those TDAs are all going together and looking at doing a whole wayfinder, a plan, like a regional plan, so.
The pathway or streetscape or whatever you all want to call that, just having a safe corridor for people to walk on. Even though our commercial district is small, We do have people that really, really try to walk it. And so we have
I
had
saw
that on
all
our goals.
kinds of people
Yeah.
on the shoulders this winter, just,
Yeah. Well, I think Bob suggested that we have a meeting, maybe, did you say next week? Or did you not give a time? Meeting about looking at the streetscape and possibly figuring out a better,
With Preston.
We have not set a meeting for that.
okay,
We're waiting for construction to reconfigure itself.
okay,
And we are looking at the piece after Christie Way.
okay. All righty. And then Bob had also mentioned the playground, which Kate was referring to up at Bark Park. And then also the WIN, and then the Shane Committee has also expressed interest in us providing some more funding for them. So with that, Kate, can we go ahead and jump into the marketing director's report? And before that, I just want to say a special thank you to you, because this has been a hellacious week. We've had to do materials for not only our workshop, this board meeting, council, and the proposed budget, and I'm sure there's something else that I forgot. The chamber and the chamber.
and in your spare time.
Yeah, and just really, thank you for keeping us informed, and we always know where our dollars are, and I think the chamber it would benefit if they had somebody that would be able to help. Calder put in his workshop notes to us that if you needed help with covering any of those ancillary meetings, just let us know, and one of us hopefully can help to do that. So with that, I'll jump into the marketing report.
Do you plan to approve this
Not
next
yet.
month?
Not yet, right? We've got some breathing room on it, and let's wait to see what chamber,
Just kind of.
how chamber gets back and
Preliminary.
resolved.
Yeah.
Good.
I just want you guys to see it, take a look at it, and, if there's any special projects or something that you think we've missed.
Okay, and so we have gotten a summary for this past month from Pineapple. It's included in your report. They do have a note here that February publicity had an editorial value of $257,876, and they did have a pitch sent to USA Today for 10 best craft beer breweries. They sent a pitch for the Beach Mountain Brewery.
Mhm.
So, and Tamara and I talked about that this morning. We would love to see that.
That'd be great if they got
Yeah.
picked.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then they are working on the birding, Beach Mountain Birding Trail. I did have them connect with Lauren, or they will be connecting with Lauren down at Buckeye, because she is going to be doing the birding hikes.
Oh,
They've
great.
got one scheduled now for the end of April, because we want to pump up end of April, early May, and that is actually an excellent time if you
For
are a
birds.
bird watcher. Goobers like me will love to go out when there are twigs and no leaves. Like the warblers that migrate, they're starting to come back. The birds, of course, that don't migrate, like the screech owls, and we have a good number of owls actually down there, and so we've got things to look at. And she's going to be doing a bird hike and talking with Renee Gannon, who is a writer who is going to be writing a piece on birding. And we do have a media piece going out to try to recruit family-focused influencers. We've got Carmen Flores who's coming. We've got Jade Brodas coming. Both of them are coming June, because that's Family Fun Month. And we are working still on getting all the days. What we do in Family Fun Month is every single day in June we have something happening. And I've got a few days I'm still trying to plug something in, so we may use a little bit more of our event money to make up something for that.
For these family influencers, and you might have already tried to do this, is try to get maybe one of them for the mud run.
Yeah, we are trying to get another
Okay.
one, a different lady for
Okay.
the mud run, who is also like a fitness
Okay.
Yeah, the fitness blogger. So we are working on that. She doesn't have it in here though, but we did talk about that today. And she does have some pictures from Mud Run last year, and Kate Prisco just told me that she's got a couple of real good ones that she's going to send. So we were able to actually get a fair number of people up here for that first one, and what we did was do digital marketing campaign on that. So I think we're going to have it even better this time. We do have a bunch of Instagram stuff coming out, and that is based on these influencers who are using Instagram as their main medium. So it's good that we've got the Instagram account. Right now, I am not having to manage it. It is totally managed by Pineapple,
Great.
which is really helpful
That's
to
what
me.
we need.
Then we've got Michelle Huggins and Robin Raven, both of whom are writers who do lifestyle, travel, and family stories. We haven't got them scheduled for when they're going to come yet, though. So really, we've just had quite a bit of getting prepared. Right now, we're switching out the winter ads. We've just got this all straightened out today, switching out all of our winter stuff and starting on hike and wine, bike and brew, birding, and fishing. And those are the things that we're marketing right now. I would like to come up with some more packages. I need to talk to Sean Royal and probably also Jared and maybe Lauren, see if we can do a bird.
On-call bird tour?
Yeah, like lodging and birding, or
Yeah.
lodging, birding, and fishing, or, and we could couple, taking a little trip out with a guide for birds and a trip out to go fishing with some lodging. Because I think we have a market for that. I could be proven wrong, but so what? If we try it and
Try
nobody
it,
wants
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So,
Would the plan be to help educate the rec people so that they could schedule birding?
yeah, and they do have some birding walks, and they actually, we have 3 people down there that are good
Naturalists.
birders. We have Marissa, and we have Lauren, and we have Sean McNay, and all of them could
Know their birds.
Yeah, they know their birds. They could lead a wonderful hike. So, but you just need to make sure that they're able to be available when you make a package. You need them to be able to do it.
Well, if
And
there's
then
3
we
of
are
them-
doing $25 an hour with Jared for the
If there's
fishing.
3 of them, we should be able to at least
Yeah.
have one
So I think the birding,
available.
I think we can do. So, and then on to where we have gotten some coverage this time. We've the mountainbikeparks.com, WJHL, WBTV, and then the Destination Magazine. They had the article on Richard 80's Watauga Democrat, did the excellent coverage of the water intake. It was a very positive piece, and we're just going to continue on that positive road. Now, for our results, Visitor Center staff served 2,407 people. That was our second highest monthly total of all time. See, this year is shaping up to probably be your highest
Visitor.
visitor count ever.
Yoo-hoo.
So it's good to have the 3 people in there now. I will be losing Elena in April. She'll be in Florida, I think, the entire month, but she'll be back. Like the
Well, I think
third
you have
week in
some
May.
volunteers that can come help do some
Now that
hours.
we'll have Armando going on 4 days a week, April the 16th, I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
Because we're not open on Sundays.
Debbie Kennedy said call her anytime. She
She
can
is
work from your
fabulous.
office.
Yeah, and she is wonderful. We've got some really good people. Jeff
Fish.
and Donna Fish have done it
Great.
before too.
Good deal.
We had fun. So we did also, of course, have the highest monthly occupancy tax collection ever with $94,140 collected, and then our gross receipts of $1,574,532. So we're seeing the results of our marketing. It was really wonderful to have Blowing Rock with us yesterday, and seeing the huge amount of hotel rooms and lodging that they've got in Blowing Rock, and they bring in $1.1 million, and you guys are on track to bring in a half think we've got a good plan. Just, we need to keep moving forward on it. So,
Great, good report, Kate.
I'm sorry, I wasn't there. Did he talk about this whole thing of the town split into areas where you couldn't do short vacation
yes, we had a
rentals?
lot of discussion on that. We did, and it is a very difficult issue, and sometimes people don't actually know which district they're in.
Yeah, because it literally divides down streets.
Yeah, yeah. So
I mean, did that change their occupancy tax projections?
Not really, not really. So-
Most all of their occupancy stuff came from hotels
Hotels.
Yeah.
versus they don't
He said he
have
would
that
only
many.
have 100 and, what did you say?
170 that aren't hotels, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's in a different
So
kind
it's
of
not that
boat
many
than we
homes,
are.
okay.
Yeah, it's much easier really in his area to do the collections because you don't have all these little homes that are
Yeah.
independent and may or may not be managed by somebody, so. But they are
They did
doing
tell
a
us to get
fabulous
that
job in
75.
that town.
Yeah, he did say that they are in the process, well, one's the broken dirt already, right? One's that they're going to be having 75 more hotel rooms, 3 different, and they're going to be high-end, over $300 a night.
Wow.
Yeah, so
2
we're
with
going
one developer and 1 with a different guy.
yeah.
And so their inventory continues to grow.
Yeah, Winker. We need to bring him up for lunch. Anyways, Kate, great report. Super, keep going what you're doing. One suggestion, and Armando's new. Do you think that we could get him to go and do Mr. Sunshine and bring around those rat cards, introduce himself? Calder had come up with a great idea. There's a lot of turnover on staff. I mean, we see it at the mountain, the club, about the app and getting people when they walk in to, hey, have you put the app on your phone yet? Yada, yada, yada. And then before, especially at nighttime, if they're coming in Friday night, they go right past us and into Wonder Calder's or Cindy's Places. And hopefully we can get them first stop to come to the visitor center and get a map.
Yeah, and get a map.
And get a map. Calder, do you have anything to add?
We're good.
You're good? Cindy?
No, I was looking, well, yes, I was looking at the Wynn Memorial Park.
Yeah.
Is this basically the same location it is now, just moved off a little to the side?
Chief, can you help us with that?
It's actually up the hill. If you know where the greenway is now, it's roughed in, the greenway is roughed in front of Public Works.
But it's still there, basically in front of the convenience center?
Well, that's going away, but yes, there's a swale which is gonna be reconfigured, and the memorial is gonna be moved up the hill on the other side of the greenway and connected to the greenway. So that when you're walking on the greenway, this will
Take a little diversion.
come off, and it's a little memorial, hopefully some flagpoles and some benches to sit on.
It looks like a fireman's symbol.
He was a firefighter.
Yeah, that's pretty well
Okay.
thought out.
Yeah, Michael designed it himself. His 4 years at Clemson was well spent.
Yes.
Yeah. He actually did a beautiful.
Unless you walked through mud, you could go read the plaque.
couldn't read
didn't-
it,
You
yeah.
couldn't read it. So it's being moved to drier ground.
Now, when you guys are moving it, is that going, that section of the greenway or streetscape or whatever, is that going to be completed? Or is it completed?
It will be completed this year. We had to stop for the weather,
Okay,
and that's a grant that's helping with that, and they're ready to start construction again.
Yeah, they have to be finished by June 1.
Yeah.
okay.
So then this will tie into the finished greenway and go towards the hill, and we're going to reconfigure that hill.
Okay, great, thank you. Barry, do you have any questions, comments? Nothing?
You want to ask me?
Yes.
I do
Chief,
have-
do you have any questions,
I
comments?
do. With the better access on Buckeye Creek Road, would the TDA be amenable to this summer doing a little bit marketing on Watauga Lake? There's boating, there's fishing, there's swimming, and those are some things in that caliber we don't have here in the mountains.
Yeah.
And I'd really like to get the word out that access now is easy, safe, and there's some people over there that would have reached out to us that would really like to market Beach Mountain. You know, they've got boating, fishing, sailing, but they don't have the restaurants we have. They don't have the accommodations we have.
We're very compatible communities.
Yeah,
We
we
won't
are.
have to cannibalize each other.
Yeah.
You know, they have what we don't, and we have what they don't, so.
But I promise you, I'll get the road finished really quick if you'll work on some marketing, and maybe we can see some traffic between the two this summer. I'd like the TDA to think about that.
I think that's a great partnership.
Just so happens, we have some
marketing roughed out from last year.
scheduled, yeah. The other thing about the connector road too is, Chief, you didn't do a press release on the grand announcement yesterday, did you? No. Would you like us to prepare one of those for you also?
Sure, thank you.
Okay. And Mayor, I'll need a quote from you, but I'll write it and then you can fix it. How's that?
You had a great quote last night. You've not seen nothing yet.
I like that one.
All right.
That was a very
Hey,
good quote.
all right.
I think we're gonna use that. It's gotta be in there
That's
somewhere.
not a good quote because we
It
haven't.
has to be, you ain't not seen nothing yet, because otherwise,
In Hollywood, they say it ain't.
Hey,
All right, good deal. Thank you. Sorry that went so long, guys. I know you're busy, but we needed it, right?
we need it.
Motion to adjourn. We're up to. Second?
It's almost second
Alder
adjourned.
second.
I mean, we
Cindy's
got
keeping us on
almost,
track.
almost too much going to even go a whole month before we meet.
Yeah, no, we're not meeting twice a week or twice a month. We're
Yeah, I don't know.
So if you guys have any more questions on those numbers or whatever, get with Kate. But I
Thanks
feel
for-
pretty good on it.
Thanks for going ahead and doing a preliminary budget this early. That
Yeah.
makes, yeah, that makes us able
look
to
at it.
think of things.
well, and I'd want y'all to, before
Hi,
the
Mike.
grant
Bye, Mike.
requests come in and all that, I want y'all to kind of have a feel for what you can do.
Well, that's gonna be a grand
Yeah.
That's another one we need to